I muted it again, didn't I? Sorry about that. Was my mic on the whole time? I don't think so. I think I hit it twice on accident. But we are here with the RCW Tag Team Tournament. So this is part one. I'm just using the tag team bracket, if you will. It took a little bit to get things set up today for stream because I found out that apparently Xbox now works with Google Assistant, which is what I have in my Bose headphones and what I use for my smart bulb for my light. So I set up my Xbox so I can turn on my Xbox without even having to go to my controller and turn it on. I just tell it to turn on. So I thought I'd set that up just for funsies. And it took me a little bit to set that up. But we are here with the RCW Tag Team Tournament. So this is going to be part one. We're just going to be going through, I think, the first round. And then this is going to be split into a couple parts here. So I believe we'll have maybe about 4 matches. Hey, Matthew. Good to see you back in here. It's been a while since I've seen you in here. So we're gonna have 4 matches today. That's what's on the agenda for this tag team tournament. Real quick before we get into everything tag team tournament wise, I'm hosting, or I am part of, I should say, a tournament for with Chaotic 911. He is a Mixer streamer. He also streams on Twitch too. He multi-streams on Twitch and Facebook and Mixer. And he is hosting a CAW, a Creator Wrestler, AI versus AI tournament. 16 females and 16 males are in the tournament, and female spots are closed right now. Female spots are closed. We have all the females that we need. I believe he's making a couple more males. But basically what that's going to entail is there's going to be 16 people in the tournament. And those 16 people are going to compete in qualifying matches to be determined who's going to be in the 8 women and 8 man tournament. They will win a title. Epic Wrestling League is what we decided to go with. I made the arena and everything, so he's just doing a couple finishing touches on the titles and the arenas and the arena and stuff. And they're gonna win a title. And after they win the title, we may have like storylines that get involved where we have, I don't know, maybe rivalries or something. We have to think down the road what we're gonna do after that tournament. So it's basically gonna be on legendary difficulty. The AI is gonna be on legendary difficulty. We're not going to control it. All he's going to do is like commentate over it and have the AI play out. And honestly, I think it's really cool that how the AI can do sometimes. You see some crazy stuff sometimes. We just don't want to deal with the 2K lag, and we just think it would be really cool for people to be a part of. The only condition is that you have to be there in the stream. If you're a part of the tournament, you have to be there in the stream to cheer on your wrestler, and hopefully we do. Hopefully we have a great turnout for the tournament, and it should be fun because it's my first collaboration with anybody on, like, streaming wise. Like, this is the first time like I've ever like gotten involved with somebody else creation wise, so it's really cool. Another thing, the website that I'm making with my buddy John, that is coming along. That website will contain all of the wrestling content that you see here, so RCW, so all of that stuff. All of that stuff, every episode from season 1 and on will be on the website. Website exclusive series, so think of it like Netflix, how they have their own original series. There will be website exclusive series, so you'll see stuff that won't normally be on my YouTube channel. It'll be on private, which means you guys won't be able to see it, but it'll be on the website, and you guys will be able to watch that stuff. There will be, like, reviews, like wrestling pay-per-view, I guess, reviews of whatever's going on in wrestling. My buddy John, like, he watches everything. He watches AEW, New Japan, and stuff like that. He actually watched, like, Wrestling Kingdom 14, I think it was. And, you know, he watches a lot of stuff. I watch everything from, like, Impact, you know, to pretty much everything. So what we will be doing is we will be doing pay-per-views reviews of, like, how we thought the card was, where we think the storylines are going to go after a pay-per-view, because storylines always, like, come to a fold that lead up to a pay-per-view, and the build-up towards a big pay-per-view match, like, that is very important in the world of wrestling, and how that match goes plays a huge role in further telling the story of whatever story is happening. So with that in mind, we'll be doing those. And where you guys come in is you guys can sign up with a username. I'm still trying to figure out how the frick I'm going to do that. You guys can sign up with a username, and, you know, it could be your Twitch name, whatever you want to have recognized or whatever. If you're a member of my community, or if you watch John's content, and you can join in on the discussion with us, and that's just something that we wanted you guys to be a part of, in the sense that, you know, it's something bigger, it's something that, you know, can branch out our content, because it's always good. It's never good to limit yourself. It's never good to limit yourself to, like, one platform. So if you make YouTube content and you stream, whatever platform you stream on, Twitch, Mixer, whatever, it's always good to make that aware to your audience, because those people that watch your stuff on Twitch may go over to your YouTube, and thus you earn a subscriber on YouTube. Or, you know, those who are on YouTube may like your content on YouTube, and then they may go after your content on Twitch or elsewhere. You know, it's never good to limit yourself to one platform specifically, because then you're still gonna grow. Obviously, if Twitch is just the platform that you make content on and you don't make videos, you're still gonna grow. But it's a lot better if you just utilize other platforms and branch yourself out. Like, it's like starting a brand or starting a company, you know. You have to find yourself. I honestly think that if you don't do that, like, your goals, whatever you have, may be way harder to achieve. Like, if you don't decide to branch out. Like, not everybody likes using social media, but I can't stress this enough that social media is hugely important to anything, to any growth, or to any brand that you are developing. You know, I can understand within the political climate that we are in now and everything else that it's not a good, I guess it's not the most positive place, I guess you could say. But you could say that about literally anything. And, you know, I just feel that, you know, giving yourself the best chance to grow as a content creator or whatever the hell you're doing, you know, because when people think of content creator, they think of YouTube, or they think of, you know, stuff like, or YouTube or whatever, and that's not it. Like, that's not it. Like, I've seen, like, one of my favorite cosplayers, she does Patreon, and she makes so much money off of that Patreon. I think she does, like, modeling too or something. But she makes like her own cosplay costumes, spends thousands of dollars on these cosplay costumes, goes to conventions and meets people, and she makes a lot of money doing that stuff. And that's just because she has that strong presence. I mean, she's been doing it for a while, but she has that strong presence of on social media. I always try to have some type of presence somewhere. And I was watching, I think it was Jordan of the North, I believe he's a member of the Bender Friends. And he was saying how important it is to grow. And one of the key ways of doing that is, as a content creator, sharing a little bit of your personal life. Whether how much you want to share or whatever. And Akeem, thanks for the work, by the way. I appreciate it. And, like, whatever extent of your personal life you feel like sharing, that's up to you. But I feel like if you don't do that, if you don't make yourself relatable or likable or whatever, then it's hard for you to grow, because I feel like a lot of people gravitate to people like that, to people that can, share things about themselves where it can be relatable and they can become, I guess, really likable. And that's what I try to do with the wrestling characters. I try to at least... Oh, that was pretty cool. I didn't actually do that. I'm gonna go out and say that I did not make Jeff Hardy do that. The AI did it on its own. That was insane. Okay, I just gotta say that because that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But doing that through wrestling characters, it's different than actually sharing your like personal life. It's a different, I guess, avenue, if you will. It's a different avenue than just going on there and simply saying, "Hey, this is what I do," or whatever, And I think it's a more creative way, because through characters and through like entertainment, there's so many ways that you can make stuff seem ambiguous. Like, some people may not believe that stuff is based on you, or this is based on you, or unless it explicitly says based on a true story, like, it seems like just for entertainment for some people. But I feel like if I didn't make the Outlaws as real as possible, if I didn't do that, then they wouldn't be as popular as they are. They wouldn't be as likable as they are. If I didn't like take some inspiration from my own personal life, then they wouldn't be as good as they are. Like, and to me, that's the whole purpose of wrestling, is making your characters relatable, because then you get over and you make fans like you and stuff like that, and all of that, and even. And even I consider this content getting over with you guys. You guys liking the content and stuff. As Jeff Hardy hits a drop kick right on the outside to Matt Jackson and the Young Bucks here, and it's fun, and I enjoy it, and I'm excited to definitely do those 2 exclusive series with Sky Outlaw and Luna Outlaw. If you guys haven't checked out the trailers for those series, it's on my YouTube channel. I posted like part of it. I posted the whole trailer of Sky Outlaw on my Twitter. So if you guys want to check that out, I posted part of the trailer on my Twitter, because Twitter only allows a certain amount of minutes for a certain video. I think it's like a minute, I think, at max. So that's why you have that in there. But I'm excited to do that series. That's going to be really fun. because that explores it definitely, especially the Luna Outlaw series. The Luna Outlaw series definitely explores sides of my life that let's just say I've questioned if I wanted to revisit. You know, and I'm excited to tell that story and through that character, and definitely Luna's one of those characters that I've personally enjoyed the hell out of playing, because she is one of the darkest characters I've played. I love those characters in wrestling that are mysterious, that are, you don't know, like kind of like the Undertaker. When he first came in, he was a very dark. He still is, but at the time when he came in, there was no other character like him, and there still isn't. You could say Kane. You could argue Kane is, but but there was no other character like him, and he just had that mysterious darkness side to him that I like, and I love it when a character definitely has more to them than just what the viewer knows, than just what the viewer sees, because then that keeps the viewer interested, and it creates more value in for the characters in the tournament. So absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, and I'm excited to do that story and to just do everything that in regards to. I'm gonna help out the referee. Do everything in regards to that. I'm really excited to do something that I'd never thought I'd do. Like the My Career story, obviously, as I plug in my laptop here real quick. The My Career story, obviously, is a completely separate story from this one. So the My Career stuff that you see on my YouTube with Luna and Brian Outlaw, like, those are two different stories. But, interesting enough, they're in the same timeline. So, Luna made it to WWE the same time Brian did. So, they're in the same timeline, just a couple matches away from each other. So I recorded the Luna Outlaw TLC pay-per-view episode. So next I have to record Brian's. And they're within the same timeline. So, when Luna's at TLC, Brian's at TLC. So you'll definitely see some huge surprises in there. For sure, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited, and I can't wait to, do it as Matt Jackson tags himself in. You probably thought you'd never see this match up here, the Hardy Boys against the Young Bucks, but a little bit of a surprise match up here for the tag team tournament, as they have to go after the vacated tag team titles. But after doing RCW for a year and a half, or not even a year and a half, almost a couple months from now, well, for about a year anyway, to do content for a year and to do 6 full seasons of it, we're in the 6th season now. To do that, that's difficult. Because I have to come up with storylines. I have to keep it fresh every time. I have to figure out ways to make it better, and I think you guys are gonna like the next storyline that I have, which is having to do with, let's just say somebody let somebody in, and that's what I'm I'm going to leave it at that. And for those of you that watch the wrestling and keep up with wrestling, you probably already know who I'm talking about. The Fiend Bray Wyatt. So we're definitely going to incorporate that somehow. As Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy look to get rid of the Young Bucks and move on to the next round, as they were RCW Tag Team Champions at one point. But they would like to get there again. But the Young Bucks, they are a new tag team on this roster. So they definitely would like to knock off a legendary tag team in the Hardy Boys here. What a move there by Nick Jackson. And now Matt Hardy's taken care of as a moonsault there to Jeff Hardy. One, two, and Jeff Hardy is still in this match. Somehow still in this. So he puts up the Too Sweet here. Too Sweet from the Young Bucks. And speaking of like interesting commentary and stuff like that, well, one thing is I got this comment on my YouTube video a couple days ago, I believe 3 or 4 days ago. It was from this fellow viewer that or this person that I've actually never seen in the stream before, or anything like that. It was a person that I've never seen before, which I always like seeing, like, newcomers or whatever. And they said that they wish that they had the energy that I have for the videos and for the streaming and stuff like that. And honestly, like, the more that people can feed off of you, the more likable you'll be. And the Hardy Boys move on. But and I agree with that. Like, the more, like, the audience can feel your energy, the more fun it is for them. Because when you're into a game and you love what you're doing, the audience is gonna, either way, somebody's gonna love it. And as an audience, it's easy. I mean, I find it, I've always been good at reading people anyway. But, I feel as an audience, like, if you're able to read when somebody's not enjoying themselves. You know, and I've seen that happen in streams, unfortunately, where, you know, people just don't enjoy themselves, or people just hate the game that they're playing, or whatever. And I was in a fellow stream the other day, Sox fan, who's on Mixer, and I think he's on Twitch too as well. He's a friend of Chaotix, one of my buddies, one of my streamer buddies, and he asked me, you know, what do I stream, and he's only been on Mixer for 5 days, and he's already gained like 32 followers, which is insane. And I said WWE, and he asked me, well, you know, what other games do you stream besides WWE? And I told him, well, I don't find much enjoyment in other games, which I don't, for streaming wise. Like, I could play Call of Duty Zombies for a couple hours. I've done that. Like, off stream, I've done that. and it's fun. You know, that's because I'm screwing around with friends killing zombies. Like, that's fun. Like, that's something that I could do for hours on end. But there are certain games, like just regular Call of Duty multiplayer, that I just wouldn't be able to get into for a stream for a couple hours. I just wouldn't. I would rage too much. And to me, I don't like. To me, I don't like playing games that I absolutely suck at. I really don't. Like, because it's just not fun. You know, like, that's why I don't play Fortnite, because I'm trash at it. I don't play Fortnite because it's terrible. I hate it, and I'm terrible at the game. So, and I have no desire to play that game, because I won't cave in to the trend that is Battle Royale. I won't, that is Battle Royale. I won't cave into that trend. I just won't. And I just don't find enjoyment in those games. I just don't. But I think it's the storytelling of wrestling and the whole idea of creating your own story and making the own storylines that keeps it fresh, that keeps it going. Because I feel like with Battle Royales, like, yeah, like Fortnite, I feel like, and this is the one good thing that Fortnite does, with the aspect of building, with there being another skill of building instead of surviving. You know, because to me, PUBG, like, you know, you can find loot and bullet drop and other things. But to me with Fortnite, the one thing that Fortnite does good is the fact is that, and I also think it can be bad too for people who don't know how to do it, is the building. It's a whole new ball game compared to, you know, the other battle royale games and stuff like that. It's not just surviving. It's like knowing when to build and knowing how to build quick to get you out of situations. Like, there's a whole different mechanic to it, you know? It's not just shooting and you know, making sure that you have heals, making sure that you have shields and stuff like that. Like, it's a whole new mechanic. It's the same thing with Apex. You know, Apex, all the different legends have different abilities, and you have to utilize those abilities to your advantage to help out your teammates. And, you know, to me, I like games like that, where, like, that's why I really liked Apex, is because it had nothing to do with building. There was this not this other skill that I needed to completely learn to enjoy the game. Like, I could just find a legend that I was good at, or a couple legends that I was good at playing, know their ability, and be good at it. And just be good at shooting and compensating for bullet drop. Like, that's why I liked Apex for a little bit. You know, that's like the first Battle Royale game that I really got into was Apex. I never got into Blackout from Black Ops 4 or anything like that. But the wrestling just kept it, and the creating of the stories, like, keep it fresh. You need a scotch. Bosh, you need a scotch? No, I'm not a liquor drinker. I'm not a liquor drinker, man. I'm a beer dude. I'm not, like, all I've drank up to this point is beer. And I probably will never touch a drop of liquor unless it's a mixed drink. Or a gin and tonic. I just don't like the taste of it. I just don't. And it's probably because I'm so used to the carbonation of soda, and beer is carbonated. Like, I do like White Claws, though. I'm a fan of White Claws. But, maybe it's just because... But I don't like liquor. I'm not a liquor fan. I'm a beer guy. I think I'll always be a beer guy. Not to say I wouldn't try a nice wine, but there's some wines that I like, but if you told me I had to choose between, you know, a wine and a Corona every time. Corona every freaking time. Look at this double teamwork here from the Ascension. As we are still in the second match of the first round. We already seen the Hardy Boys move on. This is for the vacated RCW Tag Team titles, so whoever gets up to the top of the finals and goes head-to-head in the top of the finals and comes out on top will be the new RCW Tag Team Champions. And like I said, this will be split up into maybe 2 or 3 parts, just so that I can elongate it. Like, I don't want to like have it be a full 3 hours and all the tournament. Like, I want there to be some, I guess, hype a little bit surrounding the tournament. And regarding the website and regarding its launch, when I was talking about it, is I will definitely talk to John, because I'm thinking of launching it, because honestly, it's ready. The only difference is he doesn't have his stuff on there yet, which he can always add. Like, it's not a big deal. But with Impact Hard to Kill coming up, which is the 12th of January, which that's a pay-per-view, I would definitely like to get the website up and running so that when that pay-per-view concludes, I can write my review for the first blog post on that website. So I definitely want to ask him about it. He probably won't care, but I want to ask him about it. And what a flapjack there by Connor. As Heavy Machinery already tried to redeem themselves against the Ascension. They already had a shot towards the tournament, but unfortunately they came up short. Obviously, Luna Outlaw gained that opportunity against Mercy Phantom there for a title opportunity in the future. It's Jimmy Uso with the monster super kick on Connor, and Victor has to watch on here. Count of 2. Oh, almost. The Usos almost had an upset. Wouldn't it be cool for the Ascension to have their taste of glory here? Anybody watch the NFL playoffs? I mean, my team's out, but it's good. It's actually good for once, because honestly, somebody deserves the glory. My team's already had enough. My team's already had enough glory. It's time somebody else grabs onto that Lombardi trophy, and I'm actually cheering for the 49ers. I really want the 49ers to go. Because I love Jimmy G. He played for the Patriots, and I definitely want him to get a ring because, well, he won a ring with us, but they gave him that ring as the backup. But, you know, there's nothing like being a starting quarterback, being as young as he is, and taking the team to victory. I wouldn't mind the Ravens either, because Lamar's just been playing lights out. Like, that man's just been playing lights out. It's ridiculous how well he's been playing. when he's got all those weapons around him, I'm not surprised that he played that well. Can't believe the Saints got screwed again. Yeah, they did. The Bills did too in that game. It was kind of their own fault though. They blew a 16-0 lead. I mean, that's not a big lead, but you go 16-0 into halftime, and you blew it. And I honestly think that just Josh Allen just crushed under pressure, and you know, the next like 2 or 3 years, even 4, are probably going to be awesome for the Bills, honestly. Because after this season, like, they have, like, yeah, they got eliminated by the Texans, and yeah, they blew a 16-0 lead, but they have one hell of a future, and Josh Allen deserves a freaking medal just for what he did in that game. Like, he done some pretty dumb stuff in that game. Like, that whole, like, lateral that he tried to do, what the hell was that? Like, trying to play backyard football out here, but, you know, the kid's freaking amazing. Like, even though he's a division rival for my team, I love that kid. That kid's, like, I can appreciate, like, the passion and the will in that kid, so I could see him, you know, with the right weapons behind him, I could see him going far in his career at only being 23, so he just needs to stop doing dumb stuff. Like, that's the one thing that he needs to, like, work on, is, like, you're going to try and extend the play, and you should as a quarterback, if you're able to, try, but don't force nothing, you know, don't put yourself in harm's way, don't, you know, put your team in harm's way by doing something stupid, you know, and seeing him take off running, sometimes I get nervous, and I'm not a Bills fan, and even I get nervous, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing, like, like, if anything, slide down. As a quarterback, slide down, because you're going to get rocked. Like, those defensive linemen are going to kill you, because that's what they get paid to do. They're to kill you. and that's, you know, that's what they're going to do, is they're going to kill you. And, you know, they're going to hit you, and they're going to hit you hard, so I don't want to see something like, you know, RG3, where, you know, he got his knee blown out, and, you know, ever since then, you know, he wasn't the same guy. So I don't want to see that happen to, you know, Josh Allen, where, you know, he gets one of those injuries where, you know, something ends up being different. Because he's a great kid. And I honestly hope that the best for him. Like, my Patriots aren't going to stay on top of the division forever, and I know that, so. And the Bills are the only team, Bills and Dolphins are the only team that's really, like, giving us a run for their money in terms of division. Because Miami always plays us tough, and the Bills always do. Especially this season. The 2 games that Bills and Pats played, roughest games for Tom Brady, besides the playoff game and the Miami game and towards the end of the season there. I don't know why Connor did that, but the Usos move on. I don't know why Connor decided to go up to the top rope. I don't know what he was thinking. But I think Connor just may have, or Victor, excuse me, just screwed over the Ascension, and the Usos move on. I think we got 2 more matches after this one. Or, yeah, 2 more. We should have 2 more. I wish it would just go on to the next match and not just, like... So it'll be the Hardy Boys versus the Usos in the next round. The next match we'll have is the Revival versus Gallows and Anderson. This will be... And then we will have the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era. And then we will figure out who is going to face each other in the second round. But I'm really going back to streaming. I'm really happy of how this whole entire universe of RCW, the Outlaws, and everything that I've done as a content creator up to this point has come full circle. Meaning that everything that I do has been because of RCW, literally. Like all the rebranding and changing the name and all that stuff, All the content that has come after RCW all started because RCW started. And all the support of RCW had led to the Outlaws and everything else. Because originally, if you guys don't know, the Outlaws, the whole entire character, Luna, Brian, and all of them, there was only going to be a Brian Outlaw. There wasn't going to be a Sky Outlaw or Luna Outlaw or this whole family or none of that. There wasn't going to be any of it. But fortunately, you guys showed enough support that I was like, I better turn this into something. As Luke Gallows rolls Dash Wilder up and gets a rope break here. Now imagine what this would be for the Revival to knock off Gallows and Anderson here. It's a double axe handle there. Double axe handle. Ooh, and a kick right to the midsection there. Oh, tried to clap the hands into the ears of Luke Gallows, but no, a back elbow from Luke Gallows and a back elbow too. With an enziguri right at the top of the side of the head there. But Dash Wilder in a little bit of trouble. Oh, but again, Dash Wilder firing back. Ooh, but a big clothesline floors Dash Wilder here. And Luke Gallows, the big man. Looking to tag in his buddy, Carl Anderson. Look at the double team. Boot of Doom. From Gallows and Anderson. They call themselves the best tag team in the world, but tag team titles prove that. And they'll have a chance to call themselves the best tag team in RCW if they're able to move on into this tournament all the way to the finals and win the RCW tag team titles of the Suplex. Back in the ring and the stomps to the chest of Carl Anderson. And he's a little dazed there. Ooh. But Dash Wilder able to turn that around, tagging in Scott Dawson. What's the Revival looking to do here? Ooh, and just a kick right to the knee. And Carl Anderson. Ooh, but Carl Anderson coming back though. Looking to drag Scott Dawson to his corner, possibly taking in Luke Gallows here. What a shot. There and a couple stomps there. Can we just talk about the attire of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows? I've always loved their attire for some odd reason, though. I just always loved it. Always loved it. Ooh, sweeps Carl Anderson off of his feet there. Irish whip. Drop down. Drop toe hold there. Scott Dawson now going after that leg again. Irish whip into the ropes. Ooh, and a drop toe hold again. Oh, I don't know if this is safe here. As Luke Gallows is right there, but he's going to go for it anyway in that corner. And the elbow drop. 1, 2. And Carl Anderson with the kick out. Ooh, but that arm drag. That arm drag, though. We're looking for the armbar on Scott Dawson. Looking for the armbar. Referee in perfect position there. For some reason, Dash is not breaking up this here. As he thinks that Scott Dawson can find his way out, and he does. A couple of punches right to the face. That'll definitely break up that hold. Elbow right to the back of the head. Ooh, what a big clothesline from Carl Anderson. Big clothesline. Lifting him up. Irish whip into the corner now. Tagging in Luke Gallows. Tagging in the big man again. Double axe handle right to the back. And when you have a big man like Luke Gallows, the force behind those strikes are so much power. Ooh, but a knee right to the midsection. Luke Gallows got him up. Oh, but an inverted DDT as Scott Dawson turns it around. Thank you again for the alert, Hakeem. Appreciate you. Oh, what Scott Dawson going for here is... Oh, a broski boot there in the corner. Having shades of Zack Ryder there. Wait a second. I think maybe Dash Wilder made the tag, but... I guess not. Oh, but he takes out the referee. Tag made. But the referee didn't even see it, though, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he did see it while being on the ground there. Hard to tell. I'm not a referee, but I don't know if that was a legal tag. Oh, but Luke Gallows gets rid of Scott Dawson on the apron, and now tags in Carl Anderson. These guys are not stopping here, in a flapjack right to Dash Wilder here. And now going for the pin here. 1, 2. And Dash Wilder with the kick out. This tag team matchup. Huge here for the Revival. Huge here for them. 1. Oh, tried to get a pin off of that spinning cutter there. But Carl Anderson with a kick out. Who has him in the corner. But Scott Dawson, realizing that his partner's in trouble, makes the tag. As he's in the corner. Oh, what a monstrous clothesline to Carl Anderson. And a leg drop there. Oh, might have been looking for Shatter Machine there on Carl Anderson, but Carl Anderson turns it around. What's Scott Dawson doing here? Oh no. He could be possibly going for the suplex on the outside. From the top. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome," and I would have to agree with them. as Scott Dawson rolls over Carl Anderson. But a kick out at 2.5. And as you can see, the shock from Scott Dawson as he thought he had Carl Anderson down there, but you don't want to let that big man get back in. You don't want to let the big man and Luke Gallows get back in, as they're continuing to punish Carl Anderson here. This is exactly what the Revival wants here. Keep Carl Anderson grounded, but Carl Anderson fires back. Driving the knees right into the ring. That's very unforgiving, even with knee pads. Tried for the kick, but no. Dash Wilder got out of the way there. Lifting him up. Taking him down with a knee right to the back. And once your back gives out, there's not much you can do there. There's Dash Wilder in the corner. Oh, and a head right off of the turnbuckle. But again, making sure that Carl Anderson cannot get to his corner. Very methodical is the Revival here, as they look for Shatter Machine. They're looking for Shatter Machine. Shatter Machine. 1, 2, 3, and the Revival get the victory over Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Some would call that an upset there, as Luke Gallows being the bigger man of the group, but went for the cover right away. And the top guys, as they refer to themselves as, move on to the next round. As they hug each other there, and that's a much-deserved hug there as they move on. But we have one more match to go here in this first round. Just one more to go, and that is the Undisputed Era versus the Street Profits. Now, the one difference here is Adam Cole is not out with them, so this is a fair matchup, and the winner of this matchup will obviously go on to face the Revival, who obviously just beat Gallows and Anderson there. And maybe RCW will become undisputed. Don't worry, I will get rid of the NXT tag team titles, because in exhibition, this is like exhibition, so whoever had the tag team titles, that's who they have them on. For like the WWE titles, I'll get rid of those, don't worry about it. The Undisputed Era. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. 2/4 of the Undisputed Era, as they're missing Roderick Strong here, but these guys have had quite the tag team run here. As they look to take on the Street Profits. And they want the smoke. They want the smoke, and they're definitely bringing the swag over to RCW. As Montez Ford carries around that solo cup that he loves to carry around so much. I wonder what he always fills that with. Maybe some milk or whatever, beer or whatever. I just know with beer I'd be filling that up. But who knows? It's a mystery. That's for sure. Now imagine if the Street Profits can get the win here from the Undisputed Era, beating such a decorated tag team in the Undisputed Era as Kyle O'Reilly, starts off the matchup here with a running elbow to Montez Ford. Oh, but Montez getting out of that suplex and a monkey flip there. To Kyle O'Reilly and a stomp to the face. Turns him around. Basement drop kick there. Right to the face. Kyle O'Reilly. And Montez Ford definitely bringing the smoke here to the Undisputed Era. A little bit of taunting, but you gotta focus on the match, Montez. Can't be focusing on gloating, as this is the tag team tournament, and anything can happen here. It's Kyle O'Reilly with the monstrous DDT, and that is exactly what I was talking about there. Spent a little bit too much time bragging, allowed Kyle O'Reilly to recover and get some of that time back. Ooh. Big belly to belly after driving Montez Ford's back into the turnbuckle there in that corner. Irish whip now. Looking to tag in Bobby Fish, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Systematic tags. Ooh, what a move there. What a maneuver. Oh, it's not done yet. But Montez able to make the tag to Angelo Dawkins. Now Angelo Dawkins, the bigger man out of the two, is in this match with Bobby Fish. Ooh, but an arm drag from Angelo. Ooh, but a big clothesline as Bobby Fish looked to recover, but Angelo gave him no time to do that. Lifting up Angelo now. Angelo with the Irish whip into the corner. Kick to the midsection. Up on the second rope. Sunset flip. I thought he may have been going for that, the pin combination off of that sunset flip, but no. Kick to the midsection. Bobby Fish, oh no. Angelo finds his way out of that. Ooh, in the corner, and a big clothesline in the corner there. Look at this mountain of a man that Angelo Dawkins is. Jeez. Bobby Fish has to find a way out of this. It's Angelo Dawkins, oh! Getting a face full of turnbuckle there. Ooh, but a kick right to the side of the face. Ooh, and a punch to the face of Bobby Fish. And Angelo Dawkins, he may have been finding himself in a little bit of trouble. And Montez with the splash, looking to get the pin, but the referee was dealing with Angelo Dawkins. And Angelo might have just cost the win there, an early win for his team. As Kyle O'Reilly works on Angelo Dawkins on the outside. But Bobby Fish has to make a tag to Kyle. Here. A clothesline. As he drags Montez to the center of the ring. And finally tags in Kyle O'Reilly as he desperately needed that. And Montez could definitely use one to his buddy Angelo Dawkins. But look at the striking combination here from Mr. Kyle O'Reilly here. Now a kick to the leg in the corner. Another kick to the leg. Tried for something new there, but Montez said no. Back elbow. Another kick to the leg. Oh, what's he going for here? Lifting him up, taking him down. Brainbuster. Almost got the pin off of the brainbuster there. as Bobby Fish looked to take care of Angelo Dawkins, but Montez Ford so far from his corner that probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. And again, look at the striking ability. Kyle O'Reilly here. It's Bobby Fish awaiting the tag. Oh, but that may have busted him open. Montez is bleeding, but Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly looking to finish this one. And no, Angelo able to break that one up. But Kyle O'Reilly right there to take care of Angelo. Northern Lights. And Angelo's out of this for the time being. We're going to kick to the back. This is exactly what the Undisputed Era wants here. They want the most wounded man out of this match. And they have him out for the time being. Oh, looking to get the pin here. Looking to pin the Street Profits. 2. And Montez just gets the shoulder up here. Able to connect with that punch. Tags in Kyle. Again, the systematic tags. Here from Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, the Undisputed Era. Now Kyle O'Reilly running in. Oh, but he got his arm caught in that turnbuckle there. Ooh, and Montez tried the same thing that his partner Angelo Dawkins did, and the same outcome happened. Oh, look at these formation of a couple of tiger suplexes. That was an interesting combination there from Kyle O'Reilly. And Bobby Fish able to make the tag. Oh, but Montez was right there. Oh, what a big boot to Montez. But Montez Ford got up. Looks like a no-sell there, but man, what a monstrous big boot we saw from Kyle O'Reilly right to the face. Oh, Bobby Fish said, no, not today. Oh, looking to get... He looked to get Montez to tap there. But a rope break definitely saved. Definitely saving him there. As he drags Montez over to his corner. Looking for that double team again. Tagging in Kyle O'Reilly. Ooh, and that kick. That double kick to the chest. Definitely has to take the air out of him. Once you can't breathe, you can't pull off these strikes here, like these strikes we are seeing from Kyle here. Ooh, going after those tiger holds here. Ooh, planting Montez. There's nowhere for Montez to go now. As again, they're just keeping him hugely separated from the corner, and a double axe handle right to the face. They are keeping him as far away from Angelo Dawkins as possible. Montez Ford has almost been completely isolated in this match. Who tried for a brainbuster, but Montez gets out of it in a monkey flip. Montez somehow figuring a way out of it. Heavy thank you for that lurk. Appreciate it, but an uppercut there. And Montez is on fire right now. Montez, it looked like to be the funeral of the Street Profits here. But Montez, for some reason, finding that second win, but a super kick from Kyle O'Reilly takes whatever momentum he had and just ended it. He tags in Bobby Fish here. Oh, but Montez, don't count him out yet. Don't count out Montez yet. And again with that reversal after that, trying to go for like some type of spinning elbow strike. Oh, but a bulldog, and that busted Bobby Fish wide open now. Now Bobby's bleeding now. Irish whip to the corner. And finally, he gets that tag. To Angelo Dawkins. Oh my lord. Finally, we are seeing Angelo Dawkins in this match. It seemed like it was just a the Montez Ford show for quite a while. Oh, but a dragon screw leg whip here. Now this is totally different now because Angelo Dawkins, you know, he's still a little fresh. So Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly will have to do a little bit more work before they get this match done here with Angelo Dawkins being in this match. And not Montez. Working on that leg. Working on that leg though. Irish whip into the corner. Ooh, but a shot to the back. Another shot. And another. Angelo on one knee. Who tried for that side kick there. But Angelo looking for the belly to belly, but no. Bobby found a way out of it. Who trying for that spinning elbow strike again, but no. That's not going to happen. Street Profits have tried for that move many times. Only been able to connect with it a couple times. Well, they want Angelo Dawkins down, but tags in Montez. Able to get the tag into Montez. Ooh, but Bobby Fish was ready for it. Bobby was ready. So is Montez. These two fighting so hard as they want their shot at the tag team titles, and a Samoan drop. They want to move on. But this is the perfect time. For the Undisputed Era to end the Street Profits. And that's what they look to do. Oh my God, what are the tag team work here? Into the cover, 1, 2, 3, and the Undisputed Era are the last ones to move on to the second round. It could have been anybody's match, honestly, throughout this matchup. And they did a really good job of keeping Montez Ford isolated. Winner match is Kyle O'Reilly, okay. They did a really good job of keeping Montez Ford isolated from Angelo Dawkins for a long period of time, and that was just enough for them to come out with the victory. Took a little bit of blood, but and maybe some sweat and maybe some tears too. But the Undisputed Era moves on, and I honestly don't know what to think right now, as we are going to take a real quick look at the next tag team matchups here that we will have next time. We're going to take a quick look to see who we have. So we have the Undisputed Era versus the Revival in the second round. And the Hardy Boys versus the Usos in the second round. And if I thought it was going to be the Usos versus the Hardy Boys, I honestly didn't think that. I thought that the Ascension were going to pull it off and beat the Usos. But nope. That did not happen. The Revival pulling off the upset against Gallows and Anderson. Taking on the Undisputed Era. So that is going to be one hell of a match, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the very first round of the RCW Tag Team Tournament. There are a couple things I want to go over here before we, obviously hop off. Thank you for the alert, Bruno. Appreciate it. One thing is I will get in talks with John. He's literally a text away. And see what he thinks about the website. Because I personally think that it's ready. The only thing that, in terms of like the bulk of stuff, it's ready. I already have a lot of the RCW episodes on there. There's some that I still have to upload into the site, and that's easy. That's really easy. All it is, copying the YouTube URL, copying the description from YouTube, and putting it on the site. That's literally what it is. It's literally copy and paste, which literally anybody with a computer should know how to do. That's literally all it is. And as far as the tournament with Chaotic and the AI versus AI tournament, more information will be released on that. So far, the female wrestlers, like entries, whatever you want to call them, are closed. We have all 16 that we need. Only 8 are going to make it to the tournament. We will have qualifying matchups, so we're thinking of possibly having the qualifying matchups, both the male and female, to be separate and to be in one stream. And then we'll just stream the whole tournament, like in one setting. And then, we'll figure out where to go from there. Obviously, I got to talk to Chaotic because he's the one that's going to be streaming it, but him and I are just in constant talks about it. This is something really big. This is something that we wanted to make you guys a part of, and when I say you guys, I mean my community, his community, and the whole wrestling community. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get the wrestling fan base, the ones that love wrestling on TV and everything, and the ones that love gaming together, and the ones that love both wrestling, gaming, and wrestling TV together, because it's a relatively smaller fan base when you compare it to Apex or Call of Duty, and I mean those are completely different genres of games, but it's a relatively small fan base, and I think it'll stay that way. I don't think it'll be hugely big, but I feel like through the power of collaboration and through the power of things, you can make things bigger. It's like when you raid somebody on Twitch, you bring their community to yours, or when you host somebody, you bring their community or your community to theirs, and whatever, and all that. And, it's like that. Like, we want to make something where we can grow that. And I think having the website, having what we have here on stream, and having everything else in combination with all that, with all the YouTube stuff, is fantastic. And that's all I really cared about. I could care less about the numbers. Like, numbers are just numbers, man. And to anybody that is streaming, that streams religiously a little bit, or here and there, whatever, just stream to stream, initially. Like, literally. Like, as soon as you stop streaming because of the reason being that it's fun, then you're in the wrong thing. I know some people who have it as their job. They rely on it as their job. And I'm happy for those people. But I'm talking about just from the standpoint where people stop streaming because they have had no growth, no success, no nothing, or they don't see it. And it's a long process. It took me a while to get affiliate. But my advice to anybody is network with people and do it properly. Don't go into somebody's stream and talk about yourself and talk about your stream. Like, you're going to get insta-banned, probably. 9 times out of 10, people don't like that. If the streamer asks about your stream, that gives you that opportunity to talk about yourself. And I know Slev's one of those guys. I remember when I came into his stream, told him my situation and everything, even some of my, personal stuff, and I told him my situation, and I've been able to develop a good, what I would call a friendship with him. And same thing with Bruno and all those guys. Like, I love joking around with Bruno. I love all of that stuff. It's fantastic. And one of the things I want to say is that there's a common misconception that internet friends, whatever you want to call them, are not as real and can't be as real as IRL friends, as people that you meet at school or college or whatever. Honestly, to be completely honest with you guys, I talk to more my internet friends than I do my college friends on a daily basis. You want to know why? Because when you turn on Twitch, when you hit that go live button, right? Or when you go on the internet and play online games with your internet buddies, if one of them's not online, another one is, right? And a lot of times with friendships, with like IRL friendships, you lose touch. With internet friends, it's kind of impossible to do that. Because the internet allows you to keep in touch with people that you don't normally see or that you can't see or whatever, for whatever reason. So, every time, one of my friends isn't around to hang out, or one of my IRL friends isn't around to hang out, I can always count on, watching Bruno and hanging out with him in his chat, or hanging out with Slev, or hanging out with Heavy and all those guys, and ladies and stuff like that, in their chats. That's the thing, is like, you always have something to do. You always have somebody to hang out with when you have the internet, a stable internet connection, and everything else. So don't let anybody tell you that. Don't let your grandparents or your parents tell you that it's any less real. Because I've seen people that have gone to like TwitchCon and met up with people and stuff like that. And so many people like associate that with being a bad thing, or they're scared or whatever. Like that, there's a certain level of trust that you have. And honestly, I trust Slev with my life. I trust Tony with my life. I don't know those guys in real life, but they are some of the realest guys on the internet. Same thing with Bruno and Heavy. In a world where everybody's got the opportunity to be fake as hell on the internet and, hide behind a keyboard and troll the hell out of people and just be inconsiderate, like, to everyone and everything, and hate everything and whatever, like, that opportunity is there. But to know that there are good people like Bruno and Avenger Friends and everybody out here, it gives me a little bit of hope in humanity, that we are not all terrible people, and that there are good people out there on this planet. Like, with all the bad mouth that the internet gets, like, I always tell my grandparents, like, you haven't met Bruno, you haven't met, you don't know what kind of guy they are. Like, you can tell a lot by watching somebody's stream for an hour. And I mean, there is that entertainer side to them, and there is the Bruno Shaka Zulu on stream, and then there's the Bruno in real life, and there's the real fat Tony, there's the Tony, there's the streaming Tony, and then there's Tony off stream. But and some of you may think of it as like playing a character per se, like kind of like wrestling, playing a character per se, whatever. And honestly, like Slev, like he is freaking amazing. Bruno, all of these guys are amazing. So definitely check them out on Twitch. And they are the most genuine people ever. Like, I was in Heavy's stream and he was talking to one of his viewers that was going through some rough times, and he was going to be there for somebody. And that's the kind of world that we need, guys. That really is. More than ever, we need that stuff. And unfortunately, IRL, a lot of times it's hard to get that. And the reason is, when you can see somebody IRL, and even on the internet, there's something about it. There's like something about seeing somebody on the internet versus IRL. On the internet, you hide behind a username, and I feel like there's this sense of, like, I don't know, entitlement, and like, I don't know what even to call it. Like, oh, because it's online and because the chances of them seeing it are 1 billion to none or whatever, I can do whatever the hell I want. Versus in real life where you're like, okay, if I do this, something may happen. Like, something is instantly going to happen. I feel like the consequences and the response doesn't happen quick enough in online. And that whole mentality of, oh, they're not going to see it, or oh, something's not going to happen, or this is not going to happen, kind of derails that and kind of makes people think, well, I can say whatever I want because the odds of them seeing it or the odds of them taking it literally are different because I'm not standing next to them. Like, when you call somebody an idiot or, whatever, or insult somebody in real life, like, there is, like, IRL, like, you're right next to them, there's almost an instant response to that. You're probably going to get punched in the face, depending on who you're talking to. But online, there's only so much you can do online. You can click the ban button or block button, whatever. Thank God for those things. But you know what I mean? Like, there's no immediate consequence. You get banned from the channel, so what? A lot of people don't care. You know what I mean? But when it comes in real life and you see people ganging up on people and being like, hey, don't make fun of that person, or hey, whatever, they start to lose their balls a little bit. Their balls start to shrink a little bit. And then, they don't say that anymore, or they don't do it anymore. Just check wrestling Twitter. Okay? Check how wrestling fans are on Twitter, and you'll get what I'm saying. But, with that being said, I am 100% grateful for everybody that I've met on here and everybody that I've come to know, even Chaotic and all those guys. Like, you guys are real. You guys are freaking awesome, amazing people. I love you, Bruno. I love you, Heavy. I love you, Slev. I love you, Tony. I love whoever's freaking watching this shit right now. I love all of you. You guys are awesome. And, that's great. And I'm happy that, Bruno can say my legs are broken. And and I freaking will just laugh about it. I can't remember what you said, Bruno, that was funny when I said, hey, maybe next time, head to the zone before it closes, and then you just, me being like a smartass, and then you fired back at like, well, maybe, you insulted me with something, and I started laughing because I thought it was funny. And you're like, oh man, that's bad, I'm sorry, you're like, you felt so bad, you're like, oh man, I'm sorry. But it was funny. See? I can't do that in real life. I barely can do that in real life, and I love it. So, definitely cherish the people that you meet online and the good people. And, don't label the internet as this big bad world because guess what? IRL is just as big and bad, So, it's the internet just gives you more opportunity to be a douche without any consequences. Without any immediate consequences, I should say. So, with that in mind, I love you guys. I love all you guys that watch this. Thank you guys for all your support. I know I kind of babbled on towards the end there, but I love you guys. I love the conversations that we have. I love the conversation that we had about football. And I can't wait to see you guys for the next round of the tournament where Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys, will face the Usos, the Revival, and the Undisputed Era will face each other. And the winners of those tag teams will face each other. I think we will finish off the tag team tournament in the second stream. We'll finish that off. We'll have the 2 matches. We'll have the 3 matches there. So we have the second round and the finals in the next stream. I'm excited. Also, another quick thing. I was talking to Chaotic on Discord. You guys remember the podcast that I did, a couple episodes. You guys are probably wondering what the hell happened to that. Well, it's just really finding guests for the show, and it's all on wrestling. Like, we discuss things wrestling related and everything else. That is coming back. I just got a message from Chaotic asking him if he would want to be, my co-host, and we could find guests and stuff like that, because he's into wrestling. Like, he's an 80s baby, he's into wrestling. Wrestling is his thing. That's what he streams the hell out of, and he knows a lot about wrestling. So having somebody else, there with me, and to talk about wrestling and to have you guys there, he's going to be my co-host, and we're working on stuff, so keep an eye out for that. And we're going to change up the times and stuff like that, figure out what's best for him, because he works, so we may have one this week. Who knows? Maybe even tonight. Who knows? But I love you guys, and thank you guys for all your support, and I will catch you guys on the next stream. Thank you.